We are live!
You just straight stole my intro, bro. I'm just playing. Welcome, guys. Fight Talk Central, episode 11. We have a lot to talk about today, actually. A lot of news came out today.
And yesterday, and the week before.
Yeah.
It was a little, actually, you know what? It was a little dry last week. But, actually not even last week. The week before.
Yeah.
But everything was just starting to come out slowly, and towards the end of the week, everything just came out. And now we have a lot to talk about. You know, a lot with MMA, and a merger just happened today. And
boxing's still eating shit. So we're going to start today. News came out earlier today. So breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The UFC and WWE have combined and merged companies. So they're going to be under one big parent company. It's going to be a new combat sports-esque company.
Yeah, have read from the sources is they're going to combine a total of 11 of their probably top tier workers together, and 5 from UFC, 5 from the WWE, and then come up with something. I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure it'll increase fighter pay as well.
Yeah,
I have to see that's always been a problem. And
obviously, it's a $21.4 billion merger, so it already puts it up there in terms of being one of the biggest companies, especially now, fresh off WrestleMania, which is the peak, obviously, of WWE. So right now, it's a big, hot topic. And then UFC now is having a lot of fights in the summer, International Fight Week, UFC in Miami now.
And it's Fight Week, baby.
It is Fight Week this week. Miami Fight Week, actually. So we obviously have Izzy Pereira. We have Masvidal Burns. We have Rob Font versus Yanez. It's a big stacked card. We're going to have hella traffic here, so we'll probably be staying home watching it. And
hell yeah, it's in South Beach.
Isn't it in the American Airlines Arena? Miami-Dade Arena? I'm pretty sure it's there.
Somewhere, one of those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's there.
I know it's in like that South Beach area.
Yeah. Oh, so it's going to be great. God. I'm not driving down there at all this weekend.
No.
It's going to be the worst thing ever. Okay, so before we get deep into that, first we want to talk about Alexander Volkanovski is going back down in weight to
face Yair Rodriguez.
Yair Rodriguez. We saw him fight last time on the undercard of him versus
Volk versus Makhachev.
And he put down a beating. Honestly, it was he's probably one of the most electric fighters right now. The way he fights, the way he kicks, his kicks were insane. They were tough. So it's going to be a great fight. Obviously, Yair's a lot bigger than Volk, but when have we ever seen Volk be the bigger guy in like any fight?
He's so short.
He's so short all the
time.
But
he's so fast and explosive.
He's honestly...
And you know what? I don't think Yair's going to beat him. I think Volk's going to fucking...
As cool as it's been seeing Yair take the interim champ and then having 3 champs from Mexico after there previously being like 0 until Brandon Moreno. Yair, I don't think he takes it. Volkanovski, it's always the question of this guy's going to be Volkanovski and this guy's going to be Volk. So obviously Yair Rodriguez is big upcoming fighter. We always talk about people coming to topple down Volk, but honestly, do you really see anybody in that division even coming close to Volkanovski?
No, I think Volkanovski blows right through him. And
I personally thought,
honestly, you know what? If Yair can survive 5 rounds, you know, Volkanovski, yeah, I still think he's going to win, but after Volkanovski, the champ would be obviously Yair.
I 100% think that I thought Volk was going to stay in lightweight division. I thought he was going to stay up there.
I mean, as soon as Makhachev leaves, I'm sure.
Not even that. I thought they were going to run it back. I want to see
weren't there allegations against Makhachev?
Yeah, with the IV. That they said that he used an IV to get his weight back up, which you're not allowed to do unless it's like a registered nurse or something like that. But that didn't really amount to anything. So look out for that to become official. Honestly, there's no other fight to make. Realistically, it's going to be Volk versus Yair. So look for that to happen. It's supposed to happen in July. Next thing we have to talk about, Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards fought again in the O2 Arena. And
England.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we saw a shell of Kamaru Usman's regular self.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like if he just would have opened up a little more, he would have taken that. I know it was a very close fight, but when you're the challenger, the game is different.
Yeah, it's a different animal.
You're not the champ. You know, they're leaning towards the champ.
The champ in England, from England. You have to.
And they kept it close.
You have to make it obvious. You have to go out there and put it all on the line. It looked like he was scared to get knocked out again, which is normal. It's something that Kamaru Usman's never been through.
Yeah.
Do I think he can get back in championship fights? Yeah. I think they're gonna meet again one day, but what we saw from Kamaru Usman is not the Kamaru Usman we're used to seeing, which was a bit disappointing to see. Obviously, he's getting older now. There's not a lot of time left.
His knees are apparently bad too.
Yeah. So, what do you think is next for Kamaru Usman?
I think you give Kamaru Usman a break right now. You give Covington the title shot for Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could make a Burns versus Usman maybe again, or a Usman versus Masvidal if Masvidal wins. You know, I don't think Usman should get a third title shot right now. I think he should wait a little bit, fight a contender, beat a contender.
I agree.
Go for the championship.
Or
put him in a super fight.
Do you think so? Covington gets the next title shot, and people are saying that he doesn't deserve it. I don't think anybody really. Like, who else would fight in that position? You know what I mean?
Right.
Who else could you even really put in?
I get it, Leon. You're tired of facing wrestlers, but in welterweight,
it's the wrestling, jiu-jitsu division.
Yeah.
Takes over. And people were saying Khamzat, he hasn't fought at that division
Khamzat Chimaev can't even pick his own division.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't fought here yet. Like, how do we even know he's going to hold up? Obviously. Wait, what am I saying? They're saying that he's moving up, that he can't make weight.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows if
so he's moving up. My fault. I completely just, lost it for a second there. He does fight at this division, but does he deserve it more than Colby Covington does? I don't know. Colby Covington, who's he lost to? Usman, and that's it.
Right.
So I could see him getting the title shot now. I wouldn't mind Khamzat getting the title shot.
No, he won't get one.
I think, personally, what I was thinking is Burns versus Masvidal. Winner of that gets the next title shot if Leon wins. But if Colby Covington becomes the champ, I think they'll put Khamzat Chimaev in. That's how I see it playing out. But I don't think Khamzat could even make this weight anymore.
Yeah.
That's to say if he stays at this weight, but I'm pretty sure he's going up.
You know, and it's especially Paulo Costa signed a new contract with the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a plan I've seen that there's a plan to make Costa versus Chimaev.
Yeah, which I think is the fight to make, honestly.
Yeah.
Paulo Costa obviously has a lot of power, great takedown defense. It's a good first fight in a new division for him because Paulo Costa isn't the best in the division, but he's definitely not the worst.
Right.
And so we haven't heard jack shit about what Khamzat's going to do, to be honest. We've seen him. He's going to fight Colby, and then he's going to fight Costa, and then Costa's out, and then he's like, oh, I'm not fighting him because I'm not getting paid, and then it was going to be Whitaker and Costa.
That would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been great. But, we'll have more information on this division later. But right now, we can't. We can just give you what we think is going to happen.
Right now, we only know Pereira and Adesanya.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be great. Do you want to argue about it again for the 50th time on this podcast?
Yes.
Let me know what is he going to do differently?
My argument's a little bit different this time.
Oh, let's see it.
I would like to see Pereira win.
Okay, why?
Because it will create more matchups for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
It would be put for Whitaker,
mm-hmm.
Paulo Costa, maybe even Khamzat Chimaev.
You're going to keep calling him Khamzat?
Yes, he's a little...
You just don't like that guy?
No, I don't. He's I kill you, da-da-da. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. You sound like a...
You saying that to his face?
Shit, no, I'm running. I'm running. I'll stay behind the camera. I'm good.
No, straight up.
No,
at least you're honest about it, man.
It creates more. It just creates more matchups. I want Izzy to win. I really do. It would be awesome to see him win.
For the sake of the content of the podcast, Pereira's got to take him, bro.
No, but I think. How do I say this? I want Adesanya to win, but
you think it makes more sense?
I think Pereira wins.
Okay. I think we're gonna see what happened to Usman, kind of a shell of your former self. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's beat you.
The last fight, I think Adesanya was a shell.
No, dude, he was winning the entire fight and he just got caught. It's what happened to Leon. It's what happened with Leon. You're winning the whole fight and just one shot just changes everything. But
I'll still place my bets on Adesanya though.
If I'm putting money, I'm putting it down on Pereira. Honestly, there's nothing that Izzy could do differently. I mean, unless he wrestles. That's the only way I see him winning. But do you really think Izzy's going to be able to wrestle for a full, 5 rounds? Or is it 3?
If he did the right things, yes. Izzy and Pereira 5.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless he wrestles, but...
Look, if Izzy did the right things, he will win this fight.
Well, if any fighter does the right things, you're going to win the fight.
Well, yeah, no shit. But, you think the last time he was doing the right things and then boom, he gets caught.
Oh, yeah. But look at it this way, bro. The guy's beat you 3 times. KO'd you / TKO'd you twice. You're fighting him again. You're now the challenger. He's the champ. Your confidence has to be shot down. And then you're standing in front of a guy that's literally the Terminator.
But the pressure is less.
The pressure is are you crazy? The pressure is more now.
No, Izzy is not the champ. He's lost every time.
Anthony, think about this. Ready? Think about this. Do you understand what happens to Izzy if he loses this fight?
Next division.
Do you understand? He loses this fight, and there's you're not getting a title shot for a while if Pereira stays champ, unless Pereira vacates and goes to light heavyweight, which is looking very likely.
Put him at heavyweight.
Or maybe not even vacate. Maybe he goes for double champ status. You know how crazy that would be to be double champ, and he's gonna have 10 fights.
I don't think he could do the double champ. Maybe at light heavyweight he could.
At light heavyweight, I could see him winning.
But not at heavyweight.
No
one beats John Jones.
John Jones is untouchable, for sure. No, I agree. But Pereira could become double champ at light heavyweight, but he obviously has to get through Izzy first.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about Pereira wins, right? If he loses, obviously, the trilogy's set up. Okay, he loses. He loses.
That's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to want to see Pereira. If Adesanya wins, I'm not going to want to see... I'm going to want to see a trilogy, but I'm not going to want to see another one and then another one just to even it out.
I get you. No, I definitely think it stops at 3, unless it's a draw.
Yeah.
But I think this fight, Pereira wins, right? Okay, here's how I see this playing out. I can see Izzy fighting the winner of Costa and Chimaev if that's what ends up happening.
Mm-hmm.
Whitaker getting a title shot if Pereira stays. Or if Pereira goes for double champ status, you go interim champ between Whitaker and the winner of Costa and Chimaev. Because I'm sorry, if Pereira wins again, as long as he's champ in that division, they're not feeding him Izzy again. There's no shot. So you'd have to play around a little bit. Obviously, after Saturday, we'll see what's gonna happen.
I can't believe it's this Saturday.
I feel like we were just watching the first one.
Yeah, I know. Time is flown by.
Time is really flying.
We're getting old here.
We really are getting old out here. So it's about to be a year since we started this pod. Not really, but we're getting close.
Yeah, fall semester.
Yeah.
Or fall.
So yeah.
Speaking about moving up weight divisions, Makhachev called out Leon Edwards.
Yeah, he did. I did see that.
To go up to 170. I don't think Islam Makhachev would beat Leon Edwards.
I don't think Makhachev could. He could barely keep Volkanovski down, who's strong. Obviously, he's strong.
And you saw Leon Edwards. His grappling was better this time.
Yeah.
He was getting up. He did get a point deducted for grabbing the fence.
Yeah. But
never mind. We'll talk about that after.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I would rather, for me, keep him on the ground than restart them, get a point taken off, because that could affect the whole fight.
I agree. I think situations like that where you see someone grabbing the fence to get back up and all that kind of stuff, you have to start him back down on the ground, because you just completely blew a lot of momentum for Usman in those kind of situations. So obviously there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of rules that I don't agree with, to be honest with you. I've mentioned them in past podcasts. For example, I feel like if a fighter gets injured not due to the other fighter, like what happened to Conor, like where his ankle just like snapped on a kick. It wasn't like they kicked him and it snapped. He himself just blew it in half. Yeah. Like, how does that count as a loss? You know what I mean? Like it's not like a sport. It's not like look at what happened with Leon. Again, this is like it's just a blessed example. Like, any given moment, something could change. Obviously, Conor was losing that fight. It was a good competitive first round. And he breaks his ankle, and then it's like, oh, like, it's a loss. Like, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense, in my opinion. So, yeah, same thing, I agree there. Instead of a point deduction, I'd rather you just let me start back on the ground.
Let me keep the momentum
going.
going.
Exactly. Like, fight could have been different, I can see that. But Leon had a perfect game plan.
He did, and he did very good. Had a great game plan, and he stayed with it and didn't get 100%. Caught with any punches or kicks.
Exactly. Okay, so going back to Usman versus Edwards card, we saw Justin Gaethje fight Rafael Fiziev.
Justin Gaethje, what a performance!
He's a fucking animal, bro.
And Fiziev is not just like a regular fighter.
Yeah, no, he's not some bum from across the street. No, I saw Fiziev come up.
He's an animal. He's been coming up since a long time ago.
I remember I saw his first big performance where it was like, I remember I was watching it here. I forgot who it was against, but I saw his first big performance where it was kind of like, wow, this guy's like an animal. And, you know, you keep hearing people like Dariush and Fiziev before saying, oh, the top 5 need to stop just fighting each other and fight an up-and-coming guy. Here you go. They put Fiziev versus Gaethje. He's like, here, fight. And then look what happens. There's a reason that the top 5 in this division are the top 5.
Yeah. They'll literally fight anyone. Animals. They will fight anyone.
Yeah. And then, I don't know.
Justin Gaethje was looking for blood.
I don't know if we have it for
Fisher was looking for blood, and that's what he got.
I don't know if we talked about it in the last podcast. So, Dariush is fighting Oliveira. We talked about it in the last podcast, I think.
Probably, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did. It's another situation where people are like, oh, top 5 don't fight. If Oliveira wins that fight, like, that division is so shot. Because there's no, like, other than the top 5 people fighting, everybody's untouchable. Like,
well, rumors have it Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier.
A rematch. And they had Justin Gaethje as a favorite in that rematch. I don't know, man. I never count out Dustin Poirier.
Everyone
he has the best boxing in that division, for sure. But
I'm still waiting on Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler.
Yeah,
if that even happens.
Yeah, but he's not getting on that USADA pool, bro.
USADA pool's being a pain in the ass.
I think Conor just needs to get on it already. He is looking slimmer though.
Tell him to get to the WWE, and he doesn't have to take any tests.
No, but he does look slimmer than what he did like a few months ago.
Yeah.
He's definitely losing the weight. He obviously has to drop to 170, and he was like 200 pounds.
Yeah, he'll lose it easy because that's all just
roids
and
straight roids.
Yeah, just roids and food.
No, I want your genuine opinion. Do you think Conor McGregor's on steroids? Like, real genuinely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I've seen a lot of stuff lately, like with John Jones, Chael Sonnen. Yeah, they're all on roids.
Everybody was. Like,
no,
that's what Nate Diaz said. Everybody's on roids.
Everyone's always on roids. Then if that's the case, just let the fights happen.
Yeah. You know, I used to say that.
You said that in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, if they're both on roids, then whatever.
Roids matchup. Just do it.
I used to say that I wanted there to be like, you know, the Olympics, but like let everybody take steroids or whatever enhancements they want. Like, let's see who really is the best athlete on the planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But whatever, that's controversial. So let me not talk about it. But yeah, man, like, for example, when John Jones and Chael Sonnen fought and they were both juiced up.
It's
fair game. It's fair game.
John Jones had a little more juice than the other.
No, Chael Sonnen, his exact words were, I was juiced up like a Tropicana. That's exactly what he said.
He said, I know your secret.
Because I have the same one he said. But yeah, so, yeah, man, if they're both on, and come on, you're, like Michael Chandler.
He's huge.
Muscle Milk Mike.
Yeah, Muscle Milk Mike.
He's fucking huge. But it's going to be a good fight if it happens.
That's what I say, just have Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor do a WWE match. Because of that whole fucking merger.
That's crazy. I think I could see Conor McGregor in the WWE for sure.
Have him win a WWE championship. And then
That'd be
have
legendary.
a UFC title.
And then a UFC title.
I saw a picture of that this morning.
Yeah, I saw it. He tweeted it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine. Double champ again. That'd be so
That'd
crazy.
be hilarious.
All right. So, moving on from that, because we could talk about Conor McGregor all fucking day.
Yeah.
There's enough information with that, man. All right, so this one caught me a little bit off guard.
Sanhagen
beating Chito Vera.
You didn't think Sanhagen was gonna win?
I don't know. I could definitely see him winning, but it definitely fucked up the bantamweight division a little bit. Because they were trying to see, like, Cheeto versus Sean O'Malley rematch. And now that's
honestly,
not gonna
they could probably still make that a match.
Yeah, they could.
But Sanhagen whooped Cheeto, and it just shows how much on
man.
another level that Sanhagen is on these guys. And maybe even what Sean O'Malley and the rest of the division that are on top of the division are better than all those guys on the lower side.
Yeah.
You know? I would actually like to see Sanhagen versus Sean O'Malley. I think it's a very interesting matchup.
I think it is. It's a very
You could
striking-oriented matchup.
I think maybe you could have that as like a title opportunity.
Yeah.
Or to make it an interim title.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But let's talk about Merab, bro.
Merab,
we talked about him last time. Merab's pace
I don't
is
know how to fucking
absolutely...
say that guy's name.
He has the craziest pace I've ever seen in a fight.
You had like 50 takedown attempts and only landed like 11 of them.
Yeah, dude, but Jan had no answer. Like, all he could do was defend.
And you know what? It got him tired.
It got him tired. And he also outstruck him. His striking was better in that fight compared to Peter Jan, which, I don't know. It looks like it's the decline of Jan.
No, Merab, yeah, it does look like it's the decline of Jan.
Merab also doesn't want to fight.
He doesn't want to fight Sterling.
Yeah.
So you could make that Sanhagen versus Merab fight. Did you see how Sanhagen called him out?
Oh, what did he do? I didn't see.
Oh, fuck. It's like, I don't know, he's like, you want something to eat? I'll give you something to eat.
Oh, yeah, it was like mad sus. I peeped. Yeah, I did see that. I'll put it there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this division, honestly, it's kind of out of whack. Bantamweight's out of whack.
Sean O'Malley at number 1's nuts. And
I did not think Sean O'Malley was going to...
No, I didn't think he was.
To me, like, Sean O'Malley's always been a good fighter, but in my head, he was just like... He's just fun to watch. I never expected him to be like a title contender. But his striking is beautiful. It's so nice. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I follow him. I love him.
Do they have Cejudo versus Sterling? Is that still going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's official now. So, dude, I don't know. I feel like we haven't had like a fight in forever. But at the same time, I feel like we've had a million fights. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird. But, okay. You wrote it down, but I don't even want to talk about it.
Patty the Batty called out Jared Gordon.
Jared Gordon beat him, fair and square. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, I mean...
And I'm a Patty fan. But
I think they should go for a rematch.
He got beat.
Patty was getting surgery. And he got surgery, and so did Jared.
Yeah,
Gordon
they both.
Also.
So it was fair game.
Yeah, fair game. Just give him a rematch. That's simple. Next.
Yeah, I don't want to give that attention.
Now we're stepping into the boxing world of things. Interesting matchups. To say the least.
I want to start with something else because you wrote it there with the Gamebred stuff. First, I want to talk about Plant versus Benavidez because I have something to talk about there. So, I don't know if you watched that card.
I watched a little bit of. I watched the highlights.
I just want to make sure I'm talking about the right people. No, it was versus. Suela, was it? Yeah. Okay, I have it right. Okay, so first we'll start with Benavidez fighting Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant came in with a beautiful game plan. Took an early lead.
He was winning in the first 5 rounds.
Yeah, he was winning, and it was Benavidez looked like he didn't have an answer. And then all of a sudden, Caleb Plant got a little worn down, and Benavidez just started piling on the power.
Yeah.
Respect to Caleb Plant, warrior, tough as fuck, but David Benavidez, his power is just insane.
Who's next?
Yeah. Canelo. Who's next?
Isn't Canelo facing someone?
Yeah, in May. But like I'm talking like September. And he wants to fight Bivol in September. But scrap that shit. I want to see Benavidez versus Canelo. Honestly, there's not another fight to
I
make.
really wanted to see Plant win that fight.
I wanted Plant to win, but Benavidez winning makes it more interesting. Yeah, Mexican versus Mexican. Imagine, like, if, man, the timeline just didn't play out the way it should have. Because Canelo's fighting in Mexico against John Ryder, I think, right? Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Oh, really?
Imagine if it was versus Benavidez. Mexican versus Mexican
That'd be
in
even
Mexico. Cinco de Mayo weekend, bro.
That'd be even better.
That would have sold fucking pay-per-views like no tomorrow. So yeah, we know who won. Benavidez, clear. I want to talk about the undercard fight between Colbert and Valenzuela. I don't know if you saw that. No? One of the biggest robberies I've ever seen in the history of boxing.
Oh, I did hear something about that.
One of the worst robberies I have ever seen. Me and my dad watched this fight, and when we saw the decision, they were like, by unanimous decision, we're like, Valenzuela, easy. Knocked him down the first round, 10-8, and was battering him the whole fight. Colbert had some jabs landing, but that was about it. But damage, power shots, everything, all going at rayo, bro. Valenzuela, I didn't even think it was like, I was on my phone for the decision because I was like, okay, we know who won. And then they say Chris Colbert, and I was like, bro, one of the nastiest, clip this and tag them. Tag everybody that had to do with this fight. Showtime, The Zone, I don't even know what fight it was on. Tag everybody. One of the biggest robberies in the history of boxing. It was honestly kind of disgusting to watch.
Clip that shit.
Like, it was honestly a little bit disgusting. Like, I felt, like, imagine training your entire, like, months just to get robbed like that. And I don't know if you saw this, but after the fight, Chris Colbert was flexing, like, if he won, whatever. And then they interviewed Valenzuela, and he was like, bro, I won that fight. He asked the interviewer, he said, who do you think won the fight? And the guy was like, I just asked the questions. And then they keep talking, and he tells them, I won the fight, let's run it back, whatever. The interviewer looks at him and goes, to answer your previous question, I think that was a garbage decision. Like that, in the middle of the ring.
That's how you know it's bad.
Yeah, when everybody's telling you lost.
When the announcer even says you won that fight,
yeah.
That's how you know it's a rob. That's how you know you.
It was terrible, disgusting. Honestly, like I was like, oh, it's honestly, oh, it was terrible. This is the issue with boxing, bro. Like you have good fights, but then you don't give it to the right person, man. Like,
yeah, boxing can't make fights.
Yeah, bro.
Tough.
Okay, we can go back to what you want to talk about. The Masvidal fights, the Gamebred fights.
I didn't want to talk about that. I was going to the boxing.
Yeah. It was under Masvidal's promotion. They were under Gamebred.
I didn't even know you had a promotion.
Yeah, Gamebred. I'm pretty sure those are...
Speak to the people.
You don't know what Gamebred is?
No.
I'm pretty sure the fights were under Gamebred. Let me make sure. So it was Aldo versus... And then it was
It was Aldo versus who though?
It was
that guy.
It was Pettis versus Roy Jones Jr.
Yep. And then
so it was that card. It was Pettis versus.
And then Vitor Belfort versus Joaquin Souza.
See, Gamebred Boxing 4.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's what it was.
Okay, so Jorge Masvidal has a boxing promotion called Gamebred because he's Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. So there you go. Just got your little answer there. So it's basically a boxing promotion where you see some crazy fights go down. Like he matches up random people. Well, not random people, but like matchups you wouldn't typically see in regular boxing. For example, right now is the fourth one, Gamebred 4. The headline was Roy Jones Jr. and his old ass. He's like 50-something. Versus Anthony Pettis.
I can't believe they made that matchup. That was a terrible matchup.
That's
Roy
okay.
Jones, he needs to stop boxing.
And it was a pro fight. It went on his record. It went on Roy Jones. Hey, Roy Jones Jr. cemented his legacy already. There's no shame in keeping it up. Some people just want to fight, man. And respect, man. At least he's fighting. Some boxers out there just not doing anything.
Where's Mike Tyson? We need him back.
Yo, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. was great.
That was great.
That was so fun.
That was a
fun ass
Did
fight.
you see the end when they were asking Roy Jones Jr., oh, like, how tired are you? And then you fucking see Mike Tyson. And I'm like, why does no one care about me? That shit was hilarious.
No, but, yeah, so Gamebred 4. It was Pettis. Pettis, first of all, fought at, 145 in UFC?
Yeah.
And he weighed in at 190 for this
or
fight.
155.
Something like that, but it was not 195. He weighed 195 for this fight.
He weighed 195 for the fight?
Yeah, he was at 190 or something like that.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He fought up there. He got up in weight.
Shit.
All right, and then we also saw Jose Aldo versus Stephen Thompson. Obviously, Aldo's been boxing recently. And McGregor said he wants to box both of them.
And then McGregor said,
I don't know
Let
if
me
you guys.
beat who the fuck is that guy?
I don't know. A little backstory, if you guys remember, the most iconic McGregor moment in the history of ever, when they ask him who up there could you see yourself fighting, and then Jeremy Stevens goes.
Let me see the Conor McGregor part.
You want to say it?
I want to say the Conor McGregor part.
You also put Jose Aldo versus Stephen Thompson, dude. That's Wonder Boy.
Wasn't that? Whatever.
No, he fought Jeremy Stevens. I'm pretty sure.
Jeremy Stevens, that's his name.
I'm pretty sure that's his name. Check it out. Check it out.
It's Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah. Okay. So Jeremy Stevens. Okay. So he goes and says, me, I'm the hardest hitting 145er, and then McGregor turns around and what do you say? Tell him what he said.
Who the fuck is that guy?
And then yeah,
whole crowd starts laughing. That was the best.
It was hilarious.
The best interview ever.
Imagine like he was so confident saying I'm gonna beat this guy, and then he just goes like, who
Jeremy
the fuck?
Stevens.
He was so genuine too. Like he was not lying. He did not know who that was. He really didn't know who that was.
I didn't know who that was.
Okay, so then they Jose Aldo and him fought. It was a draw. It ended in a draw. So good fight, man. I guess maybe Jeremy Stevens does have some pop in him. Also, I don't want to see McGregor box either of them. He's gonna beat them both in boxing.
Yeah.
People forget that. Like, let's talk about this really quickly. Tyron Woodley got flatlined by Jake Paul.
Maybe Jake Paul should just face Anthony Pettis.
That could actually be pretty good. Now you say it.
You know, primetime Anthony Pettis is like my favorite fighter.
Really?
Yeah. When he was like prime, winning the
Good
UFC
fucking
belt, kicks off the cage, beat Benson Henderson.
No, but what I was gonna say, Benson Henderson also retired recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, props to that guy. I don't think we talked about that. Yeah.
We don't talk about Bellator enough.
We don't really. I mean, they don't fucking promo anything.
They kind of do. You just have to follow them. Unlike boxing.
Yeah, you can follow everything in boxing.
Can't
Stuff
fucking
what's
get a
happening.
single deal together.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, we talk about how. Damn, I like blanked. No, okay. People forget. All right, Tyron Woodley gets flatlined by Jake Paul. McGregor fought Mayweather for rounds, bro.
10 rounds?
Yeah, he went deep. And we're talking about Floyd Mayweather compared to Jake Paul really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, people really, McGregor's top 5 in boxing in the UFC. Top 3.
I just made a connection.
Oh, shit.
Do you think Jorge Masvidal's, if he loses this fight when he retires, he's making money from Gamebred, so he really doesn't need the UFC anymore. Do you think he'll join in on that?
100% he's going to start boxing.
Can he even do that?
Yeah, of course. I think he boxes. I would love to see McGregor and Masvidal battle at one point in life. The trash talking would be great.
No.
It'd be so fun.
Imagine Covington and McGregor.
I've always said it. That would be, the press conferences would be so fucking funny.
That's International Fight Week right there.
Yeah, so I just want to see Conor McGregor come back already. I just want to see him fight.
Same.
Okay. Vitor Belfort fought Jacare Souza.
Jacare Souza.
Was a grappler.
That was a boxing match. It was basically a UFC, 2 ex-UFC fighters, then boxing.
And Vitor beat his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
I mean, we haven't heard too much about Vitor in a while, but
yeah, because he was supposed to fight Hakeem Rockwan Jr.
Yeah,
but he got injured. So
and before that, he was looking to fight Jake Paul.
Yeah, he was. I do remember this.
But he's
Vitor was big though.
Vitor was huge.
He's really
I've met him once. He was huge.
Yeah, I've met him.
You have?
I don't want to say where, but
I don't want to say where either. That's where I met Rashad.
Well, I didn't meet him, but I've seen him in person.
Did you want to bleep this out?
No, let's just not say it.
So you don't have to say it.
Because then I have to edit more, so I don't have to edit it. All right, moving on from Vitor Belfort. We already talked about Plant.
Haney versus Lomachenko. We'll talk about the other fight next, but I want to talk about Haney versus Lomachenko.
Yeah, a fight that's actually
I've been waiting for that to happen for so long.
Yeah, me too. Wow.
I really want Lomachenko to win.
Me too.
But I think Lomachenko just might be too old. Or too injured.
Let me give you my argument.
Because look, Haney's been looking great out there.
He has.
But like,
no disrespect.
Lomachenko, he's not like what he.
I just want you to think about this.
But if I'm gonna put my money down, it's gonna be on Lomachenko.
I'm gonna tell you guys something really quickly. We saw Lomachenko fight Jermaine Ortiz, and people were saying, "Oh, he doesn't look like himself, this and this." I think that fight was more of a good fight by Ortiz than a bad fight from Lomachenko. Because Lomachenko still won. People forget that. We're talking about a Vasily Lomachenko that his fight before that was versus Richard Kami, who he absolutely battered.
Lomachenko's been facing only tough opponents.
He beat the fuck out of Kami to the point where he had to tell the corner to stop the fight. Then he goes to fucking war in Ukraine. And obviously he's not fucking boxing over there. So people, let me explain to you. That was his first fight back from coming back from a war. Obviously he's not going to look the same. He hasn't boxed in a while. It's just like, get back into it.
It's one fight.
The fight versus Haney is going to be one of the best technical fights we've seen in a long time. But I got Lomachenko winning. If he can get back to pre-war form. Obviously, this fight will really dictate if age is caught up to him, if he's not the same Lomachenko. We're going to find out May 20th. That's all I have to say about it. Now, the reason that I looked over there and looked all sad was because Fury and Usyk are not fighting. Because talks just collapsed. I don't even want to get into it. Yeah, they're not fighting. Like, fuck.
It's so sad.
And to be honest,
it's so sad.
I wanted Fury to win this fight, but it really looks like Fury was the one that ducked.
Was it? I thought it was Usyk that won that ducked.
Nope. Fury high-key ducked. You want to know how? Because Fury made a video saying, you want to fight 50-50? I'm thinking 70-30, like I bring in more money.
Oh,
and
like
Usyk was like,
yeah,
all right, let's go then. And then after that, all of a sudden, they're not fighting anymore. It looks like somebody wasn't trying to fight.
I just can't agree.
I also feel like Fury was going to win that shit, so I don't know why the fuck he pulled out. But whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give non-fights attention. Okay. So, it was confirmed by the PFL president that Jake Paul will be making his MMA debut this year. He's been training with Bo Nickel. Who honestly, if you're going to train with anybody,
you know, I put my theory on here. Jake Paul's next fight is MMA because he made a video with Bo Nickel.
Yeah, but Bo Nickel's under better.
Days, I know.
Yeah, that's why they
But
make
like, if he's training with Bo Nickel,
yeah,
Jake Paul's in PFL, and obviously like,
yeah, no,
Jake Paul next fight is MMA. That's funny, because like, a couple days later,
yeah, it's confirmed.
Fighting MMA.
But also, would it be? I think he fights Tommy Fury or whoever he fights next. Is it going to be boxing? Is it going to be MMA? I don't know.
If he faces Tommy Fury, it's not going to be MMA. Obviously.
No, it's obviously not. No.
But I don't know who Jake Paul's next opponent would be. I don't know. In MMA.
Boxing, I'm pretty sure would 100% be.
I think it'd be Tommy Fury or maybe someone else. But I think Jake Paul should have just stuck to boxing. But if he goes to MMA, we'll see what happens. He did wrestle at one point.
He did.
So
who would he even fight? I don't think there's like
I don't know. You know, he could fight a celebrity. You know.
Imagine a Nate Diaz fight.
He'd get his ass whooped.
He would get his ass whooped.
That's why they just need to box. And Logan Paul is planning on making his return to boxing. We just don't know who yet.
I feel like I want to see the same way we have YouTube boxing, like YouTube MMA. I feel like it'd be great. I feel like it has a lot of potential.
It does.
But I don't want to see like the way we see anybody box. I don't want to see just anybody do MMA. MMA's a lot more. Like if you're bad at MMA, you're gonna look bad. You can kind of get away with it in boxing if you land a few good hits.
Yeah.
But if you're bad at MMA, you're gonna look bad. Like it's gonna be.
100%.
It's gonna be. If you have.
He's not gonna know how to fucking defend leg kicks.
Yeah. Like for example, like if you have like in boxing, when two bad celebrity boxers fight, it's entertaining because they're still trying to beat each other the fuck up. They're just throwing hands. And MMA, it's just gonna be boring if it's too bad. Like they have to be like good, decent, low level. Like they could be low level, but you know enough that they can handle themselves well. So another situation where we don't know much about. We'll get you all the info going once things are confirmed. Okay. And the last thing we're gonna talk about, it was announced KSI versus Joe Fournier is happening. KSI is fighting a pro boxer in Joe Fournier. We already talked about it, I think, on the last podcast, but yeah, it's definitely KSI's toughest opponent so far.
I don't think he's better than Tommy Fury or Jake Paul.
Oh, no. Joe Fournier?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. But it's definitely a step up in competition. Like, you have to respect it. But, yeah, KSI, this is a fight KSI could lose. Realistically, he could lose. But I think KSI losing to Joe Fournier does a lot more for him than what Jake Paul losing to Tommy Fury did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, losing to Tommy Fury is at least respectable. Like, Tommy Fury, the way he's built, his background,
Yeah.
the length of his arms, bro. Like, he surprised me. This fight
And
looks
he's
good. Yeah.
brothers with
Tyson Fury. Joe Fournier is just like a model. He's like 40 years old and he's only like 9-0. He's a good opponent. It's gonna be a good fight. We'll definitely tune in. And winner, I think winner could get Jake Paul. I can see Joe Fournier versus Jake Paul happening. Jake Paul might flatline him in like a round.
I think
They also were just like hanging out. So
Oh,
Joe Fournier and Jake Paul.
really?
Yeah, they made I think there's a better episode coming out with him or something like that. Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Of course, with Jake Paul.
Jake Paul's always the mind games are crazy. So yeah, but that's all we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into Fight Talk
Episode 11.
Central. Episode 11.
Episode 12 up next.
12 up next. We're gonna have a guest on. We're talking about a few options. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and peace
Peace.
or peace.